What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Dr. Slayman. I'm a general surgery resident, and congratulations on submitting your application. This has been a nerve-wracking process. I know this because I've been through this process. You read your personal statement a million times, you checked over your LORs and checked that you've submitted everything to the right institutions, you've applied, you're so much poorer than before, and you're thinking about that money, but now you have a sense of relief. And for most people, they think that that's it. Like, now you just wait for the interviews. In this video, I'm going to talk about many things, many high-yield things that I wish I knew when I was applying. Number one, what can you do right now to improve your chances of getting more interviews and to improve your interview success? And then number three, the black box. What happens behind the scenes? This is something that none of us know when we're applying. You're just sitting there going like, I hope for the best. I've tried everything and I'm hoping that I get those interviews. Let's talk about what happens behind the scenes. So your application is in, you cannot change your application right now. And the main thing is you submitted it on time. Some program coordinator is going to download all the applications, 5,000, 6,000, however many applicants have applied to the program. All of this is downloaded. And now some of them, I guess it depends on the program. Some of them could update the information, but more often than not, this shows the program that you have the ability to submit your application on time. Once that happens, behind the scenes, it is quite impossible, if not super, super difficult, for 5,000 or 6,000 applications to be read by one person at the same time. So now what happens is that the different applications are divvied up between a few people who review these applications. And what some programs do, like my program, is that they have a form which has a summary of things from the applicants that you fill in as the reviewer. So on these forms, and it's split between IMGs and American graduates because you can't really compare different systems to each other. So initially what it starts with would be the name of the applicant, the AMC ID, and the school that they've come from. And then there's a question about leadership. Like, are they good leaders? Have they demonstrated that? And usually if the person has done research, they've received PhDs or masters, they can demonstrate that. And that's something that we usually extract from a personal statement. And then after that would be, what scores did you get in your clinical clerkships? Did you top your surgery rotation? That's relevant for us as general surgery residents. Or did you top all your rotations? That shows how good your academic standing is. Then we have stuff like skills mastery, which is like a really cute thing on the side. Were you an athlete? Are you good at playing any instruments? Are you good at any sports, etc. There's stuff about publications. So how many papers have you been the first author on? There's also things like, are you interested in any other specialty? I don't think programs care about the STEP scores anymore. I know that my program doesn't really care about STEP scores anymore. So it's more, have you failed a STEP exam? Because that kind of shows that you're not prepared, or down the line there may be issues. One of the other things in our application is a red flag. It could be something like failing multiple subjects in medical school, but I don't really know what else would classify under the red flag. And then international medical graduates have a similar thing. The major difference, I suppose, would be clerkships. Like, basically in the form it asks if the clerkships are scored, if you're the top scorer in your clerkships, if you're the top scorer overall in medical school. And that's something that can be extracted from a dean's letter. And the reason why this is so relevant is because, like, for instance, in my medical school, we weren't scored after every clerkship. We had formative assessments and summative assessments, and the formative ones were the ones we had after every clerkship. It just would strengthen you, but it wouldn't necessarily count towards your final grade. And that's something that's difficult to compare between different schools in the States and overseas. And then what happens is you get a score for all of these subcategories, and then the top scorers get invited for an interview. Most programs also have virtual meet and greets. I think this is a great way to meet the current residents. I think it's a two-way interview. So you as an applicant, you are interviewing for the program, but the program is also interviewing you to see if you're a good fit. So it's kind of a two-way street. So these virtual meet and greets, or if they're in person, and I don't really know which program has it in person versus virtual at this time, but sometimes those virtual meet and greets, they can be a little bit awkward, but us as residents, we try to log in and we check the vibes. Honestly, it's a major vibe check. So you get to see, like, these are the residents. Are they, do they look like they're a team? Do they look like they're a family? Are they having a good time? This is your chance as an applicant to ask questions, and no question's a dumb question. This is how you know. It's very difficult to understand an environment that you're going in blindfolded. And then after that, it's interviews. So for the next part of the video, we're going to talk about how to increase your chances of racking up more interviews. So this is something that I did, and I'm glad that I did it. So I sent a letter of intent to the programs that I was interested in. So I'm going to show you guys a video of what I wrote down, and also some of the responses that I got from different programs. What I'm trying to say is you don't necessarily get an interview from the programs, but they know that you're interested and they may look at your application. So final thing that I wanted to answer was, what do you do in this time in October between the time you've applied to getting those interviews? So different people are in different boats, and there are different things that you can do. And I'm just going to give you ideas and reflect on my personal experiences and my friends' experiences. So some of you are going to be in medical school. So your primary priority right now is to successfully graduate from medical school, because if you fail in medical school, that can also affect your application and when you're applying. Another subset of people are graduates. So like me, I graduated, I was a COVID baby, and different programs, like programs overseas, have different timelines. So I started my intern year in the UK, and my objective was to improve clinically, was to submit some research projects and just get involved in the clinical environment. So that's what I was doing, and that's what some of you may be doing. Some other people may be doing research, so this is your time to rack up more publications, go to conferences, meet people, and network that way so that they know who you are, and then you could potentially speak to them about your application depending on how the conference goes. Some people also carry their CVs and they say, hey, like, I'm applying, can you just give me tips? What do you think of my application? Different people would accept different things, and I can't personally advise you guys, but it really depends on what you felt during the conference. Like, do you think you can come up to this person and talk to them about your application? Some people do different wild things. It doesn't have to be these three clear-cut things. Some people are in a preliminary year and they are trying to rack up more interviews by being good residents on their rotations. Some people are doing away rotations, and once again, that's another like mini interview. They know that you've applied, and you right now are showcasing how good you are to work with, how good you are as an applicant. Some people travel. There's no one size fits all, but whatever you do during this time can be super useful because you can reflect about it in your interview. When I was interviewing, they asked me what surgeries I performed and what I did in the UK. And I told them, I was like, well, I was on a breast surgery rotation. I saw these surgeries. I was on a general surgery rotation. I performed this. This was an interesting experience for me. And then they asked me about what I was passionate about, and I said that I took up rock climbing that month, and I was talking about playing volleyball. And you never really know when these experiences can come in handy, but different interviewers have different questions, and you can always reflect on your experiences within the last couple of months. It's also really good because it shows that you're not stagnant. Anyway, I've been talking for ages. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In my last video, I spoke about interview invites and how you can accept it from Thalamus and the AAMC, like the ERAS actual application. Please hit like and share if you've liked this video. give me a thumbs up, send me some comments, ask me questions. Whenever I'm free, I will definitely respond to you. And there's a forms link down below, so feel free to fill it out and tell me what you want to hear from me. There's going to be a bit of a pause in the next couple of videos, and I'm going to release an NRMP rank list video sometime down the line. So stay tuned. In the meantime, there's going to be some OET videos and whatever you guys request. Have a good one. Bye.